So this is some of the castle's area. Oh, it's very lovely. But it's really cool. It's got all of these lovely little castle walls. Okay, good morning. Welcome to day 2. And we are on our way to go and do session number 2. Very excited for this session. His mercy is more. Hello everybody, so let's look at lesson 2 now as to what we learned. So with lesson 2 we went to Corinthians 5 and we looked from verse 17 to 21. The question that we had to ask was how people change with grace. How does the gospel change us? The speaker used a quote from Tim Keller where he said, "The gospel is good news, not good advice." This was a really impactful, I don't know if that's a word, but impactful quote. And the reason for that is because news is a fact. It's not a story, it's not advice, it's not something that you can take lightly. News is a fact that has been documented for us. And so the gospel is the good news. It is not good advice. It is not something to be like, hey, you shouldn't touch that plant, you're going to get poisoned. This is advice. This is the good news, which means it is a fact. The gospel is the good news that takes the burden of us. And so we see that we can be reconciled to Christ. We looked at the meaning of reconciliation. Now, especially in this passage, we see reconciliation is brought up about 5 times in this passage. In verse 18, it is brought up 2 times. In verse 19, it is brought up 2 times. In verse 20, it is brought up none. But in verse 21, it is brought up once more. So we see reconciliation means that there is something broken. Between humanity and God, we are now separated. God is a holy God. Holiness means separated. In this case, it means separated from sin. And so there needed to be some sort of forgiveness and reconciliation in order for us to move forward. So the meaning of reconciliation means that there's a relationship that has been broken. We as humans are the ones who are saying no constantly, rejecting God, rejecting His will for us. God is the creator, yet we as a product turn our hearts against Him and say, I know better than you. Yet He comes in again with this beautiful story of reconciliation. And He says, well, I know that you think you know better, but I will take away this burden so that you will be reconciled to me, that you can have this eternity with me again. And I think it just goes back to that lesson in 1 where it's like we're so far off, we could not be with Christ without His help. But Jesus becomes sin. We get to be set free, to be His slave once again. Jesus is working in the Bible, and through the Bible we get to be reconciled closer to Him, and we get to be adopted into His family. And it's just this beautiful picture. And so that's what we really can take away from lesson 2. How people change with grace? Well, through Jesus, we have the ability to change. We know that we will change because of Him. Exploring time. Big and bold. Me and Ethan, we are going to explore a greenhouse. Okay, turned out not to be a greenhouse, just some sort of fence. No?
Though there might appear to have been evidence.
So this little guy, he's so cute.
It's Rango.
He's Rango. Marshmallow time!
You can't see me.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, so that was day 2 of a young adults camp. An amazing day filled with so much joy and so much learning, and it was really just incredible. I love the Q&A session especially, and we ended up just fellowshipping and playing games till like 2 in the morning, and then going to bed. So that's it for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed. Bye!